It's Championship round 6 this weekend. Here are my predictions for each and every game. Welcome to the prediction show. It's the start of another busy week in the Championship. Be sure to play along with your predictions down there in the comments. Luton versus Sheffield United. I will be there at the Kenny this Friday night. Look out for the vlog after the game. The Blades travel to Luton, top of the table, but with the caveat they've scored 9 out of their 10 points this season at Fortress Bramall Lane. Luton got off the mark with their first win at Swansea, and I suspect this one might be a little bit closer than the table suggests. Draw! Watford versus QPR. Watford boss Rob Edwards seems to be doing a decent job in the face of perpetual transfer rumours. Regardless of who may or may not be there come Saturday, they've won their 2 home games thus far against tough opposition. QPR are finding their way under Mick Beale, and where there's a Willock, there's a way. Both sides will likely look different in 6 weeks, but right now, I'll go with Watford's star power to decide this one. Home! Millwall versus Reading. Reading, a surprise package in the top 3. Their brilliant home record was extended against Borough to continue their strong start. Millwall are also a side with a 100% home record, but they went under away at Norwich last Friday. If Reading go to Millwall and prove to be more than just a good home team, many people will stand up and take notice. I think I'm going to stick with geographical advantage, but I will be watching closely. Home! Blackburn versus Stoke. This looks like it's going to be defined by people on their way out. Ben Brereton Diaz is still, at time of recording, at Blackburn, but Michael O'Neill is no longer Stoke's manager. Check out my reaction video to that news right here. The Stoke players were said to be shocked at O'Neill's departure, so I'm not seeing the mythical new manager bounce under Dean Holden, and we'll go for a Rovers bounce. A bounce back after double defeat the past 2 games. Home! Sunderland versus Norwich. Norwich look like they're picking up speed after 2 home wins last week. They go against their former boss Alex Neil, knowing that they've got the squad to assert dominance over most Championship sides. I've liked what I've seen from Sunderland, and they won't sit in like Millwall did at Carrow Road on Friday. As the season evolves, that may turn out to be suicide against Norwich, but right now, I can see it working. Honours even. Draw! Hull versus Coventry. It's probably time to play our old favourite, rested or rusty when it comes to Coventry. Those pitch issues at the CBS mean that Cov haven't kicked a competitive ball this past fortnight. Hull got a bit of a spanking at West Brom, which should be a good learning curve for Shota Arveladze and his cosmopolitan-looking side. On the basis Coventry will be a bit rusty, I think I'm probably edging towards the Tigers here. Home! Not only are we halfway through this week's predictions, we are amazingly most of the way to 25,000 subs on this channel. Help us keep growing. Hit that thumbs up button and like the video. Blackpool versus Bristol City. Could the real Bristol City please stand up? Back-to-back victories, clean sheets, holding on to leads, and on the edge of the playoff spots. Pretty good. Blackpool, a little up and down, but the win at QPR, an excellent comeback from 3-1 down at Burnley, should give them plenty of confidence as Michael Appleton imprints his values on his side. I've got Bristol City just as favourites, but not quite enough to go all in. Draw! Cardiff versus Preston. Let's rugby tackle the elephant in the room straight off the bat. Can we have some goals, please, Preston? Yes, 5 straight clean sheets is mighty impressive, but 1 goal scored and 4 0-0 draws. I'm also worried about Cardiff's creativity. They've been under 0.6 attacking XG in all bar 1 of their games. As a weirdly high number of you guys think my predictions reverse the outcomes of these games, Here, as a public service, I will forecast a 0-0 draw. Rotherham versus Birmingham. Or undefeated Rotherham, perhaps I should call them. They'll be very happy to have taken 2 draws in their 2 away games and got back home to the New York Stadium unscathed. No home comforts for Birmingham last week. They couldn't leverage a red card after just 10 minutes for Wigan and ended up losing to the newly promoted team. In theory, assuming Rotherham keep 11 on the field, this should be trickier, and I actually fancy the Millers here. Go on then. Home! Huddersfield versus West Brom. Is the goal-scoring genie out of the bottle now for the Baggies? They were hapless until Hull, and then they hit 5. Huddersfield still strike me as in the middle of the Corberon to Schofield transition, and that one win over Stoke now transpires to have been against a club about to fire their manager. I think this Swift, Wallace, Dean Garner 3 off the front is going to keep firing. So, would you believe, first one of the show. Away! Wigan versus Burnley. Here we have a team that hasn't quite figured out how to win against a team that doesn't very often lose. Burnley, for all their possession, are now 4 without a win, whilst Wigan have only lost 2 in 18 in the league and one playing with 10 men for 90% of last week's game at Birmingham. The definition of madness, I'm told, is doing the same thing over and again and expecting a different outcome. So call me mad if you will. Away! Middlesbrough versus Swansea. Something's not quite calibrating yet with these two sides. Borough have the highest attacking XG in the league. Swansea have the highest pass completion, but one win between the pair of them so far, so it's not quite yet translating into results. In terms of someone's fortunes changing, Borough are at home and have now added Clark and Muniz into an already decent-looking squad. I think it's more likely them than Swansea gets a change of fortunes. Home! Over to you. Get your predictions in via the comments and get the debate rolling. Here's my usual friendly reminder that me predicting the team you support is going to lose doesn't mean I dislike them or you or anybody for that matter. If you want some more info before you make your predictions, why not click here to see every round of the Championship so far reviewed. And if you want to continue the forecasting fun, then click here and get involved with this weekend of predictions up in the Premier League.